Thank you. Well, thank you, Bob, and I'd like to begin by paying tribute to Bob as an absolutely remarkable and outstanding leader of this nation. When you reflect on his career, and I've worked with him for a quarter of a century now, he has contributed enormously to the thinking of this country, and in particular to highlighting the compassion that exists in this country and confronting people with the reality of the need for a more caring, inclusive society. And it's going to be a great legacy for him, and it's going to take all of us in the Greens, both here in the Parliament and our membership around the country, to now build on that great legacy that Bob has left. But we will do that. We are a great party. We are the third party in Australian politics. We've got state members right around the country. We have a membership base right across the nation. And today will be the opportunity for all of those people to recommit to the Greens and essentially to go out there and commit to the opportunity that is now provided to the Greens to step up, to talk about the kind of Australia we want in this century. Climate change is accelerating and the mining boom will end. What sort of country do we want in this century? How are we going to respond to the global challenge of climate change? How are we going to respond to being, for the first time in Australia's history, in the right place at the right time in our sense of our geographical placement in the world? We are currently seeing the biggest assault on the environment in Australia we've seen in a very long time, not just because of climate change, but because of the rapaciousness of the mining industry and the willingness of both the Liberal and Labor parties in Australia to cave in to the few who want to push out of the way every environmental protection that communities have fought for a long, long time. If ever the Greens were needed in Australian politics, in public life, in redefining the debate in Australia, it's now. And I'm really looking forward to being able to lead the party in that direction. We need an economic narrative that joins up the dots, that says we need environmental outcomes to sustain our economic outcomes, to actually support the kind of society and community that we want. And that is the conversation that the Greens will be leading. I intend to go out to rural and regional Australia to have this discussion, because rural and regional Australia has a critical role to play in this century, particularly in terms of food security in a global context, particularly in terms of renewable energy and energy efficiency. Rural communities will also be the backbone of environmental sustainability and protection, and I'm going out there as a country person to say to other country people, it's time that the Greens and country and rural and regional Australia really work together. But I also want to have a much more vigorous dialogue with progressive business in Australia, because progressive business knows that we have to address the climate challenge, but they also see incredible opportunities in addressing that climate challenge. Only yesterday I met with a company in Melbourne, Silver Springs, who are doing fantastic work out there in Indigenous communities in particular, but looking at ways in which the smart grid, in which the NBN, a whole way in which we can transform lives in rural and regional Australia to add jobs, opportunities in those communities. So I'm really looking forward to that, and to pursuing, of course, the readiness of this country to respond to the greatest challenge of this century, and that is climate change. So I really want to thank my colleagues for the trust that they have afforded to me today. I intend to work very hard to make them proud of the Green team in the Parliament, and to go out to our membership across the country and say, this is the opportunity to build on Bob Brown's legacy. This is our opportunity to talk to Australia, to join up the dots, to have a conversation about quality of life, equality of opportunity, and to actually address the fact that we are a society, not just an economy. That is the Greens' challenge, and I'm really looking forward to taking it on.